there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the very first time you're here, yay, you finally found me. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back. Now, my subscribers already know that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the inside scoop on filmmaking quality and content, so you can decide whether or not you want to watch the movie. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called Mary. This sword and sandal telling of the Nativity story focuses on the life of Mary and her son, Jesus Christ, now playing on Netflix. That was sort of a weird description, wasn't it? Anyway, the film is rated PG. It's an hour and 53 minutes, and my overall movie review mom score is probably a B to B minus, but my score for accuracy is a D. Now, I'm going to give you a lot more information about why I'm giving it those scores. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like, especially if you like this one. All right, so first, in a nutshell, I love the timing of this film. Thank you, Netflix, for offering us a movie about the birth of Jesus Christ just in time for Christmas. Jesus, after all, is the reason for the season. The film was beautifully directed by DJ Caruso, who has brought us compelling dramas in TV and film. Writing credits go to Timothy Michael Hayes. Now, quick tips for parents. I think most kids are going to be bored unless they're a little bit older and interested in Bible stories. We get to see some fighting with swords. We see some blood and brutality, and we see some people die. Some of the themes that are illustrated are Mary, the mother, virgin mother of Jesus Christ, the Bible, trust, faith, promises to God, devotion, purity, and judging others. So here's the long list of things I really did like about this film. First of all, Sir Anthony Hopkins always makes every movie better. He is such a national treasure, don't you think? Mary is played by the lovely Noa Cohen. I don't think I'd seen her in anything before. Ido Tako takes on the role of Joseph, and I enjoyed both of their performances. It was really nice to see Anne, Mary's mother, represented in a movie. When I was in Jerusalem just a few years ago, I was able to go to several locations there and see artwork dedicated to her, as well as several locations. So sweet. She's played lovingly by Hilla Vidor. Hopefully I pronounced her name correctly. Other standout cast members include Stephanie Noor, Gudnandor Thorvaldsen, Ori Pfeffer, Mila Harris, Jay Willick, and Dudley O'Shaughnessy. Gorgeous cinematography by Gavin Struthers. I love seeing Herod's temple in Jerusalem. Of course, it doesn't exist anymore. Some say just that western wall is the last remaining remnant. I've seen several drawings and designs, even in 3D, of what it probably looked like, but seeing it on the screen like this was very cool. The set design and decoration throughout the entire film and with other locations are just outstanding. Good costume design by Tina Kalives, although some of it didn't quite look accurate for the time period. I appreciate the tone of the movie, which is respectful and reverent. Overall, the musical score is really lovely too. The second half of the movie is extremely engaging as things start to wind up more quickly. We see Lucifer skulking around quite a bit, played by Eamon Farron. Of course, he would be there because the most important event in the history of the world was about to happen. He certainly represented how doubtful thoughts can enter our minds so easily. Fans of the popular series The Chosen should enjoy this, mostly because they're used to a more fictional telling of Scripture to better understand what New Testament times would have been like. There are some touching moments for sure. I always try to look for the good in movies. Now, this movie is not as terrible as some people are saying. It's not very accurate, but it is refreshing to have a movie that's not about Santa Claus this time of year. Am I right? I loved the last line and the last shot of the film, so sweet and so tender. Some viewers appreciate this film's attempt to shed light on Mary at Christmas time, while others are calling it heresy and even blasphemy. What I hope is that people will be driven to the scriptures to learn more and to seek this Jesus Christ, whom the apostles and prophets have talked about for ages. Even more so, I hope viewers will reflect on their own lives in preparation for Jesus Christ's second coming, which is going to happen soon, someday soon, I hope. Now, onto the list of things I didn't like. First of all, as I mentioned, not everything is biblically based. In fact, most of it is not. Because the scriptures don't really give us a lot of details about Mary's life, a lot of artistic liberty is taken to help us imagine what her life might have looked like. I had high hopes for this film, but was a bit disappointed, especially in that regard. Even still, it's better than a lot of Christmas movies that don't even mention Jesus Christ or Mary for that matter. Most biblical scholars believe that Joseph was a much older man. I assume that the casting team chose someone closer to Mary's age simply because the optics of an older man marrying a very young girl would be unappealing to modern day sensibilities, the ick factor. That being said, I thought that the film did a good job illustrating a brave, kind, supportive Joseph. When Gabriel visits Mary for the famous Annunciation speech that is in the scriptures, the film doesn't even include what's in the scriptures, like the actual verbiage, which I thought was weird. Like, we actually have those words. Netflix, pay attention to your audience and their basic expectations, por favor. Gabriel is kind of creepy looking. Most people expect angels to be glowy, bright, beautiful, glorious, and he's kind of dark and creepy, I thought. Although the actor did a good job, I'm just saying, some scenes last way too long to say what they need to say. And the nighttime scenes are quite dark, which will make seeing what's actually happening difficult if you're watching this on a small device. Now, I always write down funny lines and interesting lines as I'm watching the movie, simply so I can share them with you so you get a taste for the dialogue. But I didn't write down any funny lines because this is definitely not a comedy. A few light moments, I think, would have been welcome, like we see in the Chosen series. We definitely get the drama, we definitely get the spiritual oomph and power, but there's also some lighthearted, sweet, funny moments that I think helps to round it and balance it out. But I did write down a bunch of interesting lines, and you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. But I'm going to share a few of them with you right now. So Mary, who's played again by Noa Cohen, says, "I was chosen to deliver a gift to the world, the greatest gift it has ever known." And I agree with that 100%. And then another line that was spoken by her says, "Vision comes in many forms. The heart, too, can see." And we see a lot of people having visions, including Herod. And anyway, I thought that that was an interesting element. Hilla Vidor, who plays Anne, Mary's mother, says, "You've been selected for great things, and great things never come easy." She's such a supportive, loving, kind, believing, faithful mother, whereas Mary's father struggles a little bit, which I thought was interesting. And then another really interesting line that Mary says towards the end of the movie is, "Love will cost you dearly. It will pierce your heart. But in the end, love will save the world." And that, my friends, is the message of Christmas. Now, before we go, let me give you some recommendations for 3 films that I instantly thought of while I was watching this film. The first one is called Journey to Bethlehem. It is a very somber, more biblically accurate portrayal of the Nativity story. Also very sweet, one worth watching with your family. Another one is called The Young Messiah. Now, it kind of does to Jesus what this film does to Mary, which is trying to fill in the missing blanks in the scriptures about their young childhood. And then the last one is a sweet animation about the Nativity that is definitely family friendly called The Star. Definitely check those out, especially if you're Christian and you're looking for new ways to celebrate the most amazing event that ever happened in the history of the world. I hope you enjoy this movie. When you get a minute, give it a thumbs up if it helps you decide whether or not you want to watch it. Subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what your favorite Christmas story is. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.